You can grab this and then just this one. Oh, I let it pop out. So that's what you want to avoid. So this is gonna be all of the things you need. I'm just gonna put all this text on the screen. And finally, of course, you're gonna wanna add in one Beretta PX4 unloaded, confirmed by me, and while not pointing at myself, hopefully confirmed by you as well. All right. Now to get this frame apart. So on the part one, I talked about originally, this was the issue, but I decided to just do a full cleaning and disassembly. So we're gonna go ahead and take this pin out so that I can just do a quick little fix that I'm gonna do, which I'm gonna show you. However, since I'm going ahead and taking this all apart, or since I'm taking that out, I'm just gonna go ahead and take all this apart and show you how it's disassembled. So we've got the flathead here for a couple of different things, but the first thing we're gonna start with is this bar right here. So there's a little ledge in there. Just gonna wanna leverage that up. There you go. Just kind of go side to side. And then you just kind of just rip it out. Just don't bend it. Don't bend it, just pull it straight out. Ah, well, we got to discover something together. There's rust on this too. So let me go ahead and follow through with this. This plunger here, we're going to get that off. It's going to be a little funny, but first we gotta knock this part off, the back strap, which now is a good time if you want to use your manufacturer provided back straps. You can swap this one out. It just clips straight on like this. It doesn't slide on. Yeah, it doesn't slide on or anything. It pushes in, and then this clip that we pulled out, it fits in the cutout and they lock together. So that's off. Oh, hi there. Well, that's interesting. There's a lot of rust material in here, but since this is all polymer, I'm guessing it's just off of this clip. So I guess I'll go ahead and show what I'm gonna do to clean this one up as well. And I'm gonna have to order some replacement parts because I wanna go ahead and make sure everything's good on this. Like I said, I bought it used, but I didn't dig too deep into it. So we're gonna knock this pin down, but what you wanna do is be careful with this plunger down here. You've got the hammer spring in here, and that will fly out as soon as you knock this out, but when the punch is in there. Okay, so it's a 1/8 punch. So you're gonna want a 1/8 punch in addition to the 3/32, which this pin right here is not very hard to knock out. You're just gonna want to make sure, like I said, that this doesn't fly off. So I'm gonna go ahead and start knocking this out. I'm on carpet floor so that I have some give. Okay, knocked it about 1/3 of the way through. Now I'm just gonna push down on this to relieve some of the tension, and I'm gonna push all the way through, just like that. Set this off to the side somewhere. I forgot to bring my magnetic bowl again, but we'll put that in a safe spot right there. Now this is when I'm gonna hold this down and just yank that bad boy up. Whoop. As you can see, this piece is polymer as well, so you wanna be very careful when putting this back together. Just note how this is slanted and note where the cutout is, and the cutout lines up with the pinhole. So that comes off there. I've got that pin knocked out. Put these over there. Because this one's rusted on the left side specifically, I'm gonna knock it out from right to left. Just because I don't wanna hammer on the rusted end of it. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that with the 3/32. Wow. All right. Pretty sure I can just push this one through. Yep. It's really much better when you have a workbench, right? So, okay. It's not too bad. I'm going to just use some really fine steel wool and rub that off. And if it looks bad enough, I'm just gonna tape it and spray the end cap with a little bit of that Rust-Oleum. So that's why I have it there. It's not necessary, but I brought it just in case. So now, I got those out. There's another use for the flathead here. Oh, yeah, I'm being silly with that. But luckily the gun's completely disassembled right now. So, there's this, hang on, clip in here, right in there. And this clip bends this way, but it's like a hinge. So you want to hinge it because it's in this little detent, or this little ridge in the pin that we're trying to pull out, which we're going to use this flathead to leverage this way so it comes out the left side of the gun. So I'm going to push down on this. All right, so we're gonna keep this one because it's gonna help, but I went and grabbed a slightly bigger one. Something in between these sizes would be perfect, but this one helps because once you get in there, like I was showing you, this pin's gonna pop out right here. And this helped me to grab it under the ledge here and get that all the way out. So now we've got this out. That being said, this entire top portion here is going to now, well, all right. This should just pop right out. I guess this is really stuck in there. Yeah, there we go. Again, I bought this one used. I probably should have did this whole takedown a long time ago. Yep, there's little bits of rust. So I'll go ahead and clean that all out. But I would say this is about as far down as you should take it in case of any parts breakages. If you go on any other ventures, well, there's not really much you can do with this other than buy the entire new, I think, competition trigger group from Beretta. And I mean, I don't know. I haven't checked in a while. I don't know if anybody else makes a whole trigger group or any of these components aside from the hammer spring and like different hammers. So I guess, yeah, hammers and hammer springs is the most common things, but it's really not necessary. Man, this thing needs to get cleaned like crazy. I'm so glad I opened this now. So as you can see, there's little bits of rust here. This isn't gonna be everyone's case. I bought this gun used, so I don't know what it went through beforehand, but I checked all the function, everything prior, so I knew it was working good. You can replace this hammer spring. Like I said, look at certain other companies if you decide to, but just, you know, comply with your local laws. Or just keep it stock. The gun honestly has a pretty good trigger. The trigger bar is another thing you can change here. I know Beretta used to sell it as the optimized trigger bar. I think it's sold by Langdon Tactical now, but I don't know if Beretta still sells it through their website. But this is the optimized trigger bar, or short reset trigger bar, or whatever they're calling it now. Most likely designed by Langdon Tactical, I believe. So when putting this back together, There's definitely, oh, this is so gross. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stop the video and then I will continue this after I clean this. Okay, I went through and I cleaned out all of the rust as far as I can tell. When I take the frame apart, I usually just, if it's really, really dirty, I just run this under hot water. I make sure to clean out everything. I get those pointed Q-tips. I scrub out any corners. That's basically what I just did. And then I just let it dry. So now that it's dried out, this is what it looks like. We can take the slide lock off, slide release. So it's really easy. You just push it in the up position, slide it right out. Now, the easiest way that I've found to make this go back on, so you're gonna have this little leg for the spring go into this hole here, and then the leg for the slide release goes in the bigger hole. You're gonna put the leg into their hole, right there. Boom. And it's just gonna chill out like this. I'm gonna grab my slide release, stick that in, and then use this other rod to leverage that. Boom. Okay. And then it goes up and it clears away, and now it's in. Make sure to function test it. Now, I did the same thing, hot water here. I made sure to clean out everything with the Q-tips as much as I can, and I've decided I'm not gonna lubricate it, because honestly, this gun has been used a lot, I can tell. So like everything's moving very smoothly. So I'm not gonna lubricate this. The coating looks like it's pretty good all over still. The reason I'm not gonna lubricate this is because I just wanna attract as little dust into this area as possible. Now, to put this whole unit back in, we're going to need to pay attention to the cutouts in here. So you see the giant hole there at the back. There is a cutout on each side of it, if you can kind of tell from me tilting. Those cutouts correspond with these legs here, and the hole corresponds with this. So, look at this cutout on the side here, on the left side of the gun. That corresponds with this right here. So if we just keep all three of those things in line, let me go ahead and, quick tip. You need the hammer up like this. However, if it falls back, don't freak out, right? Get that little flathead from before. So you see this here, this leg, you're gonna access it from this side, and you're gonna push it forward, and then just unlock the hammer and push it all the way back, and just make sure that you don't let it fall back again. Then we should easily be able to just push it down. There's the trigger bar. Quick, we'll just show you now since I'm putting it back in. So it's shaped like this. The peg here is gonna face inside towards the gun. So the flat side is gonna face towards the outside of the gun. This rod with the little circle here at the end goes towards the front of the gun. So there's gonna be a cutout right here. That's where that's gonna fit in. However, we gotta pull the trigger, move that little mechanism in there, pull the trigger all the way forward, push this in vertically, and then just try to finagle into the hole there, and then you can let it go, and now you're good. So now the trigger bar is connected. Then we just want to make sure that this piece right here that's hanging fits in to this area right here. Right there, just into this cutout. That's where it needs to be when you're putting it all back together. So I will attempt to get it on camera, but it's just difficult. So line those up like before. and then push that back over there. Okay, once everything is in, it should look like this. And before I put any pins in, just kind of play with it and make sure that it's actuating the double action. You want to make sure that that spring down under here, under the trigger bar, you want to make sure that you keep it underneath the trigger bar. If it pops out, just use a flathead or something, or your finger, and just pop it back in underneath it. The spring and the trigger bar should both be riding against the side of the frame. So now, I'm gonna put that pin back in here. All I gotta do, pop it in, push it in all the way. We're good to go. Now, forgot this pin, be right back. Okay, I just cleaned that pin, the original reason we took this apart. And I've decided I'm not gonna spray it. I thought it was more rusted than it was. But I'll let you decide if it's in good shape. I really, come on. I know you can do this. Come on. Well, whatever. There we go. Yeah, both ends of this are looking pretty good to me. So I'm going to go ahead, get this pin back in. Looks like it can be inserted either way and from either side of the gun. I started with the bronze side, but as I get closer towards the finish, I use the plastic side so I don't damage the polymer. However, it usually doesn't go through adequately, so now we're just gonna grab that 3/32, and then I'm literally just gonna tap it one time with the bronze side and then check. And yeah, it went too far, so this time I'm going to tap it one time with the plastic side. And one more. I'll give it another one. That's good to me. Hell yeah, no more rust. Okay, before I go any further, I want to make sure double action's still actuating, and that when I pull the trigger all the way back, the hammer is released. Remember, there's no spring tension right now. So I just want to make sure that this goes back and that when I'm holding this, this is floppy. And then I let go, it should be locked in place. Boom. There you go. So before I put this all together and annoy myself, I want to make sure that those things are working right. Now, this is where it's going to get, and this is the biggest reason because you don't want to go through this again. So, whew, all right, let's get this going. All right. So we got to get some leverage on this, but you're going to put this down, push this down, just get the pin in there. And you just want to be careful not to launch this thing. There we go. As you see, I got it almost all the way in there. Now I just plastic side until it goes down as far as it will. Get my 1/8, and I'm just gonna keep using the plastic side until it gets about flush. Well, one more. There we go, perfect. Should look pretty flush on each side. Now, I think we got, yeah. We almost got everything. We just gotta put the back strap back on. Oh, well, would you look at that? Be right back. Right. I got that about as clean as I can. So, just gonna snap that back on there. Boom. Literally snap it. All right, so the clip is bent like this. Yeah, like that. So we're gonna put the forks forward like this. But they're gonna go in towards the back here. Towards the back. Like that. They can start there. You start pushing it through. And most of the time, you should be able to push it all the way through with your fingers. But there's a little gap. You just want to make sure you get that all the way down. Just grab the plastic side of this and just on each, give it a couple taps on each side. And you're good to go. I also ended up taking apart my magazine release because I saw that the magazine release spring had some rust in it too. That one's pretty straightforward. I already put mine back together, but this tiny little hole here, just imagine it's a SIM card in your phone. So just get something small, but tough because it's got to be kind of long. So just push that through and it'll pop this pin out of this side, and this metal piece will also come out because the spring, or no, it won't come out. It'll come out if you drop it, but the spring is on this side. You can reverse this to be left-handed or right-handed. That's why that's important, because that is how the manufacturer says it in the manual. However, you can also change to their manufacturer provided, not provided, but purchasable extended mag release like I did. Yeah, so we're good to go. Now, I just literally slap this boy back on there. Make sure we're good. Yep, perfect, and no more rust. All right, I really appreciate everyone taking their time and their patience. This one's gonna be an edit fest, but I'm all here for it. I didn't end up using the Rust-Oleum, but keep that in mind as an idea. Doesn't have to necessarily be that brand. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hate on me, love me, I guess. That's preferable, but do what you want. See you in the next one.